Welcome to episode 161 of the Twim Show. This is your host Sajid Islam, and today I'll be going over the notable news and updates in the digital marketing space from the week of May 15 through 19, 2023. Today, first off, we have somewhat of a lesson for everyone. So there is this service company called Home Advisor, and they have actually been penalized by Federal Trade Commission, which is also known as FTC, for making false claims about the quality of leads it sells to service providers. Now, if you're wondering, hey Sajid, what has this got to do with marketing updates? Well, it has got to do with marketing updates with a lot of things. And listen to me, here's why. The FTC's complaint alleged that Home Advisor had made false, misleading, or unsubstantiated claims about the quality and source of the lead it sells to the service providers, right? The complaint also alleged that Home Advisor often told service providers that its leads result in jobs at rates much higher than it can substantiate. Some of the false and misleading claims made by Home Advisor are that its leads were handpicked by Home Advisor experts, that its leads were pre-qualified and ready to buy, and that its leads were more likely to convert than leads from other sources, right? So I will take a pause here and I will say why it is. Oftentimes, we business owners or we hire marketeers who go out and run campaigns for us, and they will go do things beyond our knowledge, or they will try to embellish the truth, or maybe bend the truth a little bit, a reality a little bit, and this serves as a big reminder that the truth in advertising really applies. Now, you could also argue with that and say, hey, Home Advisor is a big company, maybe that's why they got penalized $50 million and blah blah blah, FTC is getting into action. But keep in mind, FTC can come after anyone as long as someone else takes the effort to file a complaint, right? So I do not know whether you will get dinged, or I will get dinged, or someone else will get dinged or not get dinged. But what this is all matters is that you need to be very careful. Oftentimes we hire marketeers who promises at the sun and the moon, and we are like, oh my God, this guy is so good, and we business owners are completely in the dark and not overseeing what they are actually doing, and are they really putting us in a pickle? The FTC is not going to come and ask the marketeer what you did. The marketeer is doing the marketing, or the agency is doing the marketing on behalf of your company. So it's your company's name on the line, and the FTC will come after you. Okay, so hope this helps. I know I did not start this episode with good news, but I wanted you to kind of be aware that you, as the business owner, are in the driver's seat, right? It's the same way. It doesn't matter if your accountant makes a mistake, or your tax person makes a mistake, or kind of claims something else. When the IRS audits you, it's you who has to show up and make the case that, hey, I didn't do it intentionally. But that's a long drawn out process. Would you want to do that while instead of running a business and be distracted? I don't think you want to be, and that's why it's better to work with reputable agency and also have someone else shadow that agency and make sure that they are doing everything by the book, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. With that, let's move on to the next update of this week. So the next update comes from Meta, which is also known as Facebook, and Meta has added a lead generation tool to Facebook. And now this is exciting, right? And I usually do not have to say anything good about Meta, but this is something I will tell you, because what they have done is they have added a lead form builder, which allows you businesses to create custom lead forms, a lead magnet library, a lead generation chatbot, and a lead generation ad, which allows businesses to promote their leads to forms of wider audience. Now, what this actually does, it's like, now you don't have to create lead magnets in, say, lead pages or ClickFunnels or Go High Level and be able, or MailChimp, and run traffic to this other site. And the other benefit of this is because of iOS 14, if you go to some of those sites and you may not be able to see the conversion. So when you do it on Facebook and Meta, right, you would be able to capture those information, and then obviously it's all within the Facebook ecosystem, and Facebook actually boosts your pages because it doesn't take your visitor, the person clicking on that page, to a different site. So this is all in all good news for people who are Facebook centric. I would definitely recommend you to check it out. What it says is that you need to have a Facebook page and then kind of goes into the business manager. I'm not going into the nitty-gritty details. I think you can Google it or you can check our show notes. It's going to be there what you can do. But overall, I really, really like it because now you can do this, and also you can actually believe you can also, let me look through the show notes. You can also host that lead form into your website. So you can actually extend it, which is really good. And I think something good came out of Facebook after a long time. So I guess maybe flattening the hierarchy in Facebook is working out. I do not know. I'm just like maybe making a comment. But overall, please, if you are on Facebook, maybe you should use it, especially into your Facebook marketing realm. We are not, so it's not going to really help us a whole lot. Okay, and the other next update from Meta is that Meta has started refunding advertisers for the overspending glitch. Remember back in April 23rd, which was over the weekend, suddenly, the CPA algorithm went haywire and people end up using their budget in about a few hours, and CPAs tripled and things like that. Meta is still investigating. Some people have started seeing refund, others haven't. If you were affected by it, or your marketing department or your marketing agency got affected, just make sure you follow up and you get your money. It's funny, they charged your money and now your business is out of that money. That money didn't really work for your business, and now you have to fight tooth and nail, or actually wait, holding a bag, waiting for Meta to kind of graciously approve your refund and be able to get that money. It's weird. It is what it is, right? Anyway, now moving from Meta into Google Merchant Center. Google has announced that starting June 2023, the COVID-19 policy under its sensitive events policy is going to be changed. What this basically means that Google is going to be lifting restrictions on COVID-19 related content, meaning shopping ads and free listings containing COVID-19 related items will no longer be restricted. In addition, the approval via Legit Script or Project N95 will no longer be required. The policy update also allows shopping ads and free listings for certain types of face masks, vaccines, and other COVID-19 related products, right? So overall, it's just something, if you're selling masks and you couldn't sell masks because it was an N95 and you want to do it, this is good news for you overall. But if you're not in the medical space, this doesn't apply to you. You can just skip over. But if you are in the space, probably you want to go ahead and check the, what is it called? Sensitive events policy, and make sure that you're still playing by the rule. They've relaxed the rule, but that does not necessarily mean that in everything it's like, open season and anything will fly. Just be careful of that. Now, from Google Merchant Center, let's jump to YouTube. YouTube is offering unskippable ads for connected TV. These are going to be, 30-second ads that it's going to show up on connected TV, and people cannot skip them. Number one. Number two, this is actually a great opportunity because there are 150 million unique viewers of YouTube TV. Right. The new ad format is called YouTube Select, and it is currently being tested with a small group of advertisers. If the test is successful, YouTube plans to roll out the format to more advertisers in the coming month. YouTube Select ads will be placed before, during, or after videos on connected TV devices. The viewers, advertisers will be able to target their ads based on a variety of factors, including the viewer's interest, demographics, and viewing history. Obviously, this is a significant development for advertising industry. It's for advertisers to reach a large audience with their message, and it's a way for YouTube to generate more revenue. If you are a business, if that advertises on YouTube, you may want to consider, using unskippable ads on connected TV. Of course, it needs to kind of fit into your whole strategy and where you're going. If you need an audit or if you need some help with developing a strategy, you can contact yours truly to see, how we might be able to help you and see if you should be advertising on YouTube and leveraging the unskippable ads. And talking about, let's talk about analytics. Like Google Analytics has refreshed its audience builder. It's really interesting what it has done. It allows you to actually enhance, let me see my notes. It allows you to create a lot more sophisticated audience, such as people based on engagement, session counts, session durations, low engagement sessions, and you can really create a lot of fancy things on out of the box GA4 using the audience builder, of course. So all the details are in the show notes. I'm not gonna go into specific each one of them because it gets very boring and technical and dry, but I wanted you to know that this capability exists in GA4 now, which basically means you can do a lot more different types of events, not events, build audiences and then retarget them and do other stuff. Okay, along the same lines, Google Search Console to BigQuery bulk data exports feature does not include historical data. That's something Google has announced. Obviously, back in February 2023, Google announced that it's adding a new feature for Google Search Console to be able to users to be able to export the data from Google Search Console to BigQuery. And if you do not know what BigQuery is a cloud-based data warehouse that offers powerful data analysis capabilities. Like, for example, by exporting your data to BigQuery, you can get insights into your website search performance that would not be possible with the Search Console's web interface, such as what are the keywords that are driving to your traffic to your website. But also remember, your Search Console data goes away after 13 or 14 months. I cannot just remember the exact dates, but basically what happens is you can only go so far in the past. If you want historical data, which you obviously want, because if you don't have historical data, you really cannot say what happened 2 years ago, what query was we performing, what kind of traffic were we getting, things like that. So you want BigQuery. If you're serious about SEO game, you want BigQuery data to be stored in BigQuery. Like the other things you can find is the pages on our website that are performing the best in search, the devices that users are using to access the website, and blah blah blah. Like if the raw data is in BigQuery, you can actually use SQL and slice and dice and pivot the data any way you shape and form. I mean, you could do that, or you can even do it, download it out of, extract it out of BigQuery and do it in Excel as well. But anyway, so as you can know, it's not going to allow you to import historical data. So it's more important that you get on the BigQuery today and you start pulling the data into from Search GSC, which is Google Search Console, into BigQuery. Okay, Google has released new crawler for testing tools. It's called Google Inspection Tool, which will be used by Google Search's testing tools, such as Google Search Console to test the rich results test, and Google Search URL Inspection Tool, and things like that. So what's actually it's allowing you to do is it allows you to kind of split out the traffic. So if you are testing 100 times a day, or your developer is testing 100 times a day, and it shows up as direct hit or organic hit, you want to be able to subtract those hits so that you have clear data. And this is what Google Inspection Tool actually allows you to do. Again, if you shouldn't be, as a business owner, not be able to analyze all these things, crawling activity, bot activity, but your web team should be able to do that. I'm just trying to see if I'm missing anything else or not. But yeah, you should, if your web team is wondering, or if you're wondering, if you see, a lot of spike, or if your web team is providing you data, or data analytics team is providing you data, and you should ask them, hey, have you filtered out the Google Inspection Tool traffic? Because I want to see all the data without the traffic and with the traffic, and then kind of figure out, okay, what's really happening within your website. Because remember, a website is an extension of you. It's a 24/7 store that anyone can come check out your site and do certain actions that you have configured it to, whether it's a brochure, whether you want them to sign up for leads, and you want to create, you want to track the efficiency, right? What gets measured gets managed and also improves. The last update, second to last update for this week was, will SSL boost your SEO rankings? Because there was a time when there was a time, I remember in probably 10 or 12 years ago, when SSL was still at its infancy, there was things going on where saying, if you have SSL, you rank higher than if you don't have an SSL. And that could have been true back then. But now John Mueller is coming out and saying, hey, SSL, having an SSL, which is HTTPS, will not improve your website's ranking in Google search results. However, it may improve your odds of getting that click. Because of course, because if it's a HTTP, people, or sometimes there is a warning showing up and people are kind of wondering, should I put my email address? Is it safe? Because remember what an SSL does is it encrypts the traffic going from the browser to your server, right? It's an end-to-end encryption so that no one else can eavesdrop, can see what is the data you're transmitting. And it gets more important when you collect sensitive stuff like credit card information, date of birth, or anything PII. Even email address is considered PII. So you want to have SSL turned on just so that if someone is telling you that, hey, having SSL is going to help you with SEO rankings, walk away from that, people. Okay, the last update for this week was gambling with SEO shortcuts, because there was a very interesting discussion on Mastodon between this user Preeti Gupta, who actually posed a hypothetical question in which she said, what if I were to create a website filled with scraped reviews from established platforms like Capterra, G2, Trustpilot, and to basically quickly create content and get traffic and SEO traffic and things like that? Would that be unethical? Would that be frowned upon? What's going to really happen? So Simon Cox, I do not know who it is, but he responded that he wouldn't engage in such practices on ethical grounds, the lack of strong brand, and would likely render such efforts futile. He basically says there are no shortcuts in building a trustworthy business. Now, Google's John Mueller jumped in because obviously Preeti Gupta tagged him and says, hey John, what are your takes? And she actually also tagged Simon. So John Mueller saying, while taking such shortcuts might temporarily gain from traffic, or might temporarily gain traffic from search, the majority won't. He compared it to a gamble and cautioned that when things go south, there won't be any sympathy. John emphasized that attempting to cut corners with SEO, such as using low quality content or artificial backlinks, can lead to more harm than good. Rather than providing a shortcut to better rankings, these tactics can actually harm your site's reputation and visibility in Google search results. So what does Mueller advise? He advises that sticking to Google's guidelines and focusing on creating high quality, relevant content is the best approach to SEO. Mueller further stressed the importance of building a long-term value-based presence rather than relying on short-term, potentially unethical strategies. This is a timely reminder for all businesses about the importance of ethical SEO practice, and SEO is a long game, folks. Right. All I want to say, this is exactly the same message that I've been driving in this show again and again, which is like SEO is a long game. There are no quick and dirty, way. If you do it, you're going to get caught. And the day you get caught, you get flagged, and, you don't want that. Right. It's like everyone runs a red light, and the day you get in, either you get caught or get into an accident, that's the day you wished you have never done that. Same thing with SEO. It's not worth it, folks. It's not worth it. Yeah, it's a long game. It's hard work, but you know what? You get a lot more reward by playing the long game. So please play the long game. Do not take shortcuts. I do not advocate for shortcuts. It's just like, I don't like to cut corners. Anyway, with that, folks, that's it for This Week in Marketing. Now you know everything to be in the know. If you'd like to read more, make sure you visit our show page where you will find the links to the articles, or, you can read the show notes and you can read more on it. Once again, this is your host, Sadi Islam, signing off until next week. Take care. Bye-bye.